Alright guys, welcome back. It's been a minute. We're gonna go back to our old school a little bit for our whiteboarding type of video. So this video is legitimately gonna be kind of just like a step-by-step guide. How do you start from scratch to, open your first service-based business. It doesn't matter if it's gonna be brick and mortar or it's gonna be online. I will definitely eventually have a break different between that, how do you set up either one of them. But this one is more straightforward, strategy, I would say blueprint. Now, to make it successful or not, it's all depend on, two very important things, right? It's really just about how patient you are with the business by consistently putting them on the correct work, always making improvements. At the same time, is have a recognition of, what's the constraint the business currently facing, not making enough money, not having a profit to continue to stay open. So yeah, let's get to it. So one of this one is really a great example that one of our, business founder that we surprisingly like, damn, this is actually a great idea. This is exactly how they started from theirs, from zero to hero. So I'm not going to say that this is exactly you should be able to do exactly the same, but I think that it's a great way to look at it to see, hey, if someone want to have passion, want to start a business, right? And then between the products and the service side, you feel like service is the best fit for you, absolutely, right? So let's check this out and then let's get to this. So when you first started, this person has $0, right? Now, and the person was also at the same time starting the business in a very young age. So they were like, just honestly, started the first business, right? Like legit, we get to start running, register everything at the age of 19, right? So, but they had a passion of that because they were seeing other people starting business at a very young age to learn that, it's good to start young because you have much more time to learn those mistakes, getting better and better. So they were around 15 and a half years old doing that. And it's also close enough to be the legal age where they're at to have a W-2 type of job in the US. So they had a little part-time job at a time. And at the same time, they want to hustle because, save up money, not spending on those stupid stuff. They want to hustle because their family member who was, of course, 18 above, they have legal age. They, at the time, there was also doing deliveries. So the person just start learning to deal together. So to have their guardian parents or family together in the car to do deliveries or hustle at the same time. So the money, of course, it's going to go to their family first, but later transfers to them because they're the one who earned that, right? And then eventually they become legally able to drive, do delivery at the same time. They're still doing it because during the time, it's extra cash on the side, right? So why not? So until they continue to do the journey, and then from part-time job, they land themselves a better full-time job. And then the thing that people don't really realize is that many times we have to be reminded is the fact that there are opportunities out there. So it doesn't matter whatever job board you try to find a job. The job itself is not terrible. It really is just depend on what do you take the extra time outside of the job, and then the outcome you work for the job. What are you going to use it for? Are you going to use it for, either going to be for fun stuff, or it's going to be for stuff that are going to help you build your future wealth, right? Or pay off your debt, right? Totally up to your choice. So, and they had opportunity, to have a decent grade. They had opportunity to go to, pay them on for the student loan, right? But they choose not to, right? They want to save the money. They don't want to go in debt, but they want to pay the extra. They want to save the money because they want to start a business, because they realize start a business sometimes it doesn't need a business degrees, right? Because it totally depends on what kind of business you want to start, right? Back to the square one. So with the time to have enough money saved up, they have, remember it's for a long time. So for the last, I would say 4 years, right? Till they're 19, they had about roughly, after tax, I would say maybe 150 to less than $200,000 saved up. So that's pretty good because the person doesn't really spend much and everything lives very cheap, right? So the goal just really having a good enough cash fund. Now they had a choice. So the two choices they have, right, it's going to be either, or AKA brick and mortar type of business, or they go fully remote, which is online, right? Now both of them has their benefits, right? Pros and cons. One would say terrible in terms of cons, but it's part of reality of the price you have to pay for it when you open a business. So when they had a choice of physical business, right, with physical locations with remote. So this might answer many of your questions. The fact that if you open a remote business, absolutely. You just gotta go ham on marketing, cold outbound, cold outreach, get people in there, build connections. It's gonna take a lot of time. Now I'm gonna say to open a physical location, it's not gonna take you many time, but with physical and brick and mortar locations wise, the benefit is, yes, you do put an expense, right? It's going to be in your P&L, all the bills, electric bills, all that you have the place itself, right? That's just the expense, right? Now these days, it's not cheap, but at the time, right? It's still not cheap, right? But the benefit is you have a physical place there. Now what's good was the fact that you can have a website. Doesn't really, in the beginning, if you don't know much, you still can go just basic, have a fully optimized website, show what you do, strong call to action to people when they click on it, right? It gives them interest knowing that what's the solution they're looking for, right? What the problem they have that for them to know that you can help them solve that. And the benefit is the fact that because your location, people drive past, is going to check out. So you have a lot of chance of getting organic leads. With remotely, you just got to go heavy on either paid marketing or manual labor or marketing, right? Outbound, all that. So both are great. Now, the reason why this video I also want to make is the fact that, I have seen, a lot of Q&A questions wise, people try to get answers like, how do I really start a business, right? Now, of course, I'm not an expert in the product base, but the general idea is still similar because you can start in business anytime. This person started young because they learned from someone young age. That's totally fine. If you're 30 or 40s, that's going to be, either way is able to make it work. The only thing is that you had to really balance out the difference between, what you got, what you own, and then, at the same time, anything else you got to pay off, right? Say if you are, in the mid 30s, 40s wise, you want to start a business, and at the same time you still have your student loan. We see that story many times, right? They have still a lot of debt you need to pay. At the same time, there's a pressure on that, right? And at the same time, because you had to keep your 95 or corporate job, whatever you got, right? Let's pay a decent amount, 100, 200K. It's not going to pay all that for the debt because, you had to pay tax, all that. You had to, pay your house payment, pay your car payment, all that. So that's part of life. So if I was in your shoes regarding if you're in a situation of a simple short answer like, whatever situation you got, you might, of course, you can go back in time, right? Have the opportunity like this person had during a young age. Then the best goal is really starting remotely, right? Now, this is just a part one of this video, to be honest with you. If I didn't tell you that, we're actually going to go over a part two, part three, maybe a little bit more, kind of dive down more of a, what else you can do to start a service-based business. So yeah, hopefully it's just a short, I would say, I don't know how long this video is going to turn out to be, but there's not going to be anything fancy at it, just kind of like a simple way to see this. So, and another really quick summary is the fact that because they went for no, right, on the student loan, the fact that, so they're not going to be in debt, so they got rid of all that upside pressure. So the bottom side is that they have so much saved up. And then the good thing is that those money that's saved at the same time, they can use it really scale out the business, right? And then they, of course, I'm not saying they're exactly with business because they want to keep it private, just kind of give you the option from here. But either one of them, the money that saved up, they can utilize help them a lot doing their physical brick and mortar. Now, you might be questioning, what if they had money saved, they want to do a physical business? Did they go for loan? Absolutely. But at the same time, have a good credit score, have good money down payment on fund. At the same time, because they have this starting young age, they have so much energy and force is focusing, clear mind, because they started young. So their energy before you focus on whatever challenge it takes. That's exactly what it is. Because back to the point was that if you are in the majors that already have a lot of stuff going on, the upward pressures, it's going to be a lot of stress, which is why a lot of businesses don't see success, especially in the physical base, past 1 or 2 years. And the remote base, yeah, not even making past the 30 years. That's part of the game, man. Business itself, it's not just about like making profit, take it home. It's really about how do you stay open, regardless if you're making a lot or not. That's exactly what it is. So yeah, we're gonna have more dropped off, and this one's gonna be part 1, part 2, part 3. Gonna come out one by one, and then yeah, hopefully you kind of got some sort of idea, answer some sort of questions. So thank you for watching. I'll catch you up in the next part. Peace.